Hey, 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 Uncle Mark in the mothership. 3-string cigar box guitar. Yeah, yeah, yeah. This is Carol of the Bells. This is an instrumental. I put out a practice video on my Facebook page, and there were some folks wondering how I did this. And so I figured I would do a lesson on this. This is an advanced lesson for advanced players. There are bits and pieces in here that beginners and intermediate players will be able to fool around with, but strictly this is an advanced lesson. We are going to be using from about here to the E up here, and this whole takes place up in this upper register. So what I consider the upper register is everything above 12. In here. So mostly this is going to take place in here. You're not going to be able to play this if you don't have 21 frets. This cigar box guitar is 22 frets. My other one that Rob made me has 21. So this is the end. And the way I reach that is I reach it with my pinky or my third finger by banging into the box. So I come up and bam, that's where I know I'm at. That's where I figure this stuff out. So I'm going to play a little bit of this. I've got a loop set up so I can play over it. And then I will show you what I'm doing and how I reach all these points. This song has 4 parts to it. The first part is the rhythm, which I've looped. The second part is the third part is the... And the fourth part is the... And once you get all those parts and you marry them together in whichever way you like, then you've got the whole piece. You can make it short like I'm doing it live. I'm going to play it live and make it about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5 minutes long. You can make this thing about 5 minutes. Depends on how long you want to do it and how many phrasings you want to put together in this. So let me go through and show you what I'm doing here. And so let me get my looper set up. All right, I am ready. So here we go. 2, 3. All right. Like I said, this tune, it has a whole bunch of parts. So let's get the chord parts down. So, come up a little bit on my volume, got rid of all my distortion. So this song is in E. So you start out in E, and I'm just going to mouth how it goes through it. So you're in E, and E is made by putting your first finger on the G string of the 2nd fret and putting 4 and 4. This is a B and an E. This is an advanced lesson. I'm not really going to go through everything. G, D, G, G, D, G, 42, 34, 24. They're all wound electric guitar strings. So here we go. E. So it's da 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 up to G. Da 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 C. Da 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 G. Da da D da 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 E. C G D E, and then it goes to B. Da 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 the voicings for this, I like toggling back and forth between this low E and this high E here on the 7th fret. The reason is I like the way this middle works with that da 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 da. The soloing comes down and the rhythm comes up. I really like how that works. It's a great pattern and it works for my ear very well. You may find it that you like the C, G, D, E this way. You might like to go down to that E. It's just a question of voicing. And voicing is where you change the chord shape to get the different, so this is a B, E, B, as opposed to an E, B, E. You may like it up here. It's just a different way of playing an E chord, and that's called voicing. So I like the voicing of C, G, D, E. The B is in there for the, that's what that is for. And when I figure out my looping parts, I kind of time it through. So I time this thing through. I do an E, 1, 2, 3, 4, start. And work it that way in a timing way. Also, a metronome would really, really help you in keeping your timing straight, because everything is in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it goes into 1, 2, 3. So the timing changes a little bit, and I just want to let you know how that goes. So part 1 of this, and let me get back into my my overdrive a little bit. I'm using an overdrive, a delay, and a phaser at the same time. So that's the swirly sound you hear, also the phase. Delay, you can hear that delay bounce. I like that bounce in this tune. So the beginning part of this starts out right here on this 12th fret, and here we are, and that's a G. So that starts out right here on this G. And I want you to think of your hand in this position for this phrasing, this section of phrasing. So you're right here, and your notes are all going to exist where your fingers lie. So anything here is going to be, anything on that 14th fret is your pinky, 13th fret is your ring finger, your 12th fret, your G right there is your second finger, and your first finger is here. And that's how I want you to think of how this works. So, you're going to be going through this. So that note right there, that E, is where you're going to land and resolve. Da, 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 da. That's your resolving note. So that's what I want you to know about that. So it's a 12, 11, 12. 12, 11, 12, 14 on the D string, or G, F sharp, G, E. And I want you to see how I use my pick. So it's down, up, down, hop, pull. That's how I attack this phrasing. So I'm always pulling up on that E string. And I want you to just work this pick back and forth. Remember, your pick is a paintbrush, and you are painting with it. So if you're on E, boom. That's what you're painting in there. Okay, so that's how you're going to paint this phrase. Your next set, so you get this down, and that lies on the E chord. Your next set is going to lie on the G. And that's where your hand is going to jump a little bit. So your pinky is going to move up to your 16th fret, third or second finger on 14, and right here. And you can use this finger, but I find that this is too much of a stretch for me between my third finger and my pinky. I really like this, but my pinky and my ring, my second finger. So pinky, second finger, so it's 14, or 16, 14, 12. And this was the twister, and this whole thing for me was very difficult for me to grab this section. But you're ending up back here, so you move from... So that's how you're moving. So I'm going to do this again. All right, so that's how I phrase that. So your third section, you're going to slam all the way up to here, to that high E. It's the 21st fret, and you're going to play it 3 times. Then you're going to come down, whole step, half step, or whole tone, semitone, or 21, 19, 17, 16. So it's 3 times on the E. You are coming up, slamming up to the C 3 times, 3 times, hop, hop, 14, 12. So you're using this phrasing just like you did before. These notes here, and these notes here. So your hand is going to move from here, so here, and from that point, you're just going to redo this phrase. So that's how you work this phrasing. And I slam my hand up here. Your next section. The next section starts here, and this is where your hand is going to be. Your hand is going to stay here, and in one moment, jump, and then jump back. You can jump back, or you can stay in this position, but you're staying in this position, your hand position, and we know that, right? We know that this is 7, so you're in the 8th hand position. You're going to move to 9 and come back, but it's your second finger here. You can do it that way, or come back. And I'll kind of write out some of these notes here. And that is the whole thing. That's how I've done this. Like I said, this is an advanced lesson. For you people that are much more advanced, you can really play with this. This is a really fun song. You can add some really cool soloing. This is Uncle Mark in the Mothership. Thank you so much for everything that you do for me. I really, really appreciate it. I'm on Facebook at Cigar Box Blue. I do have a donate link down below in the show notes. It's Uncle Mark, paypal.me, Uncle Mark Tips. Thank you so much for everything. A buck a show is all we ask. And we'll see you soon with another lesson. This is kind of an advanced extra. So thank you for everything. We appreciate it.